Thanks for your time.
Good evening, Brian. Very good to be with you.
Now, you're a spin doctor with the government.
Well, can I stop you there, Brian? That's a pejorative term. That's certainly not the way I would characterise
How
the
would
sort
you
of
describe
work.
it?
Well, Brian, I'm a linguistics advisor to a predominantly Christian management group in the Canberra area.
A Christian management group.
That's right, yeah.
Interesting work.
It is interesting work, very.
Are there a lot of you?
Linguistics advisors?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 1,500 of us, Brian. I mean, the canteen's
Why
chocker.
do you need so many linguistic advisors?
Well, Brian, think of it as a college for the interpretation of the scripture.
So they're studying the text?
Oh, yes, Brian. We look at the parables, the 10 principal negotiating positions.
Which are?
Oh, they're just 10 sort of agreed starting points for a discussion.
Where did they come from?
Moses, I think, Brian, was before my time.
Oh, you mean the Ten Commandments?
Brian, I certainly wouldn't be advising the minister to accept that term.
But that's what they're called, the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, I'd be advising him to reject that term.
Why?
Not too restrictive, Brian. You don't want to go into a negotiating position with no malleability. You've got to have
You
room.
said it was a Christian management group. Surely you must have Christian policies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're Christians. Of course they do.
Well, what else do they study?
Oh, well, you know, everything, Brian. The left-wing lecture in the hills.
Sermon on the Mount.
That's the one. Do you know the Beatitudes?
Yes, indeed. They're very beautiful.
Yeah, well, we've fiddled with them a bit, Brian. They retain their beauty, in my view.
That's the ones here. Blessed are the persecuted, for they shall be blamed for their persecution.
That's a very early draft, Brian. That's not what the minister's gone with.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall get stuffed.
Where did you get that? You shouldn't even have that. That's classified.
Well, let's go to a practical example. In the last couple of weeks, some Tamil asylum seekers were locked in a jail in a desert and then flown from there to Nauru.
Yes.
Were you providing advice on how to deal with the public?
Yes,
over
Brian,
there?
I was. This is what I do.
2 jails in a week?
Yeah, that's actually not the angle we went with. Because,
No, you said you were trying to send a signal to people smugglers.
That's the one we went with, Brian. We need to put these people smugglers out of business.
But that's not the fault of the people who are trying to escape persecution, is
No,
it?
a lot of this is going out on talkback radio, though, Brian. I mean, you don't want to get too technical.
So why do it on talkback radio?
So you don't have to get too technical.
You also said this policy is designed to prevent drownings.
Yeah, that was one of my better ones, wasn't it? I was surprised that one got a run in the paper, to be honest.
Are you a Christian?
Oh, yeah, we're all Christians up there.
Do you believe there's a day of judgment?
Oh, don't know about judgment, Brian.
I think you better have another look at that book.
I should probably read the book at some point, yeah. It's very big. We're quite busy.